This episode of the show promises to be filled with excitement and drama. We will conduct a thorough investigation into the situation. You could explain the reasons behind the scenes and why XRP will reach $10, $40 or 100% in 2030. You can sit there and tell people it won't work for them if they want, but all I can say is, you're a waste of skin if you're sitting there thinking it's not going to hit $10, $20 or $30. You are then. That's exactly what you are indeed. That's the IMF. Would you like to join me in mocking it? Okay, go ahead. 3 years ago they offered us a riddle. The main question is, if stablecoins are regulated similarly to banks, won't they supplant the digital assets that banks were supposed to replace? Then there is the When Innovation Hub discusses their podcast. They are essentially revisiting the concept of a bank. Since there isn't a universally accepted definition of a bank, we had to re-examine its definition on a global scale, and I must admit it was quite fascinating. We both have many years of experience supervising banks, so we thought it would be a beneficial exercise to ask ourselves, what is actually a bank? And here Mr. Austin is sitting right in front of you stating that we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system before we lock ourselves into rigid institutional frameworks or world gardens built by big tech companies or large financial institutions. People still want to sit there and doubt XRP. Alright, pay attention to the details we will cover. Let's begin by having Jeremy go all out and state that Circle has announced the availability of USDC. This is critical under the new EU stablecoin regulations. Remember, the RLUSD will be compliant, and within MAA we expect to release the timetable within MAA in Q4. But more importantly, we will be reviewing my working comments from 2 years ago when I provided this small insight. The Digital Euro Association is a European Union organization. Recall these stablecoins as well as their introduction and suggestions such as the fact that Ripple will be considered a bank and a provider of crypto asset services. This is really crucial. Despite the initial accuse of speculation, everything turned out perfectly. For instance, we could expand an ecosystem to encompass the digital euro by either directly issuing it on the same platforms or enabling private actors to facilitate exchanges between digital euro units and those stable coins. This exchange would allow users to use both forms of money, and those actors would likely be subject to strict regulation both as financial institutions and as providers of crypto asset services. Therefore, don't be surprised if Ripple receives such labeling in the future. It's plausible that they are already aware of this information. While I'm getting my PA face on right now, they might even be the stablecoin issuers themselves. Ripple plans to issue its own currency, which promises to be a humorous development, particularly if these coins are stable and backed by reserves. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Although the stable coins backing by the national currencies of powerful countries is undoubtedly an improvement over cryptocurrency assets, where does the credibility come from knowing that a sovereign currency serves as the backstop? Yes, the item is real. The issuance of sovereign currency serves the public interest while also considering the possibility of a swift and widespread adoption of a worldwide stable currency controlled solely by private company incentives. Such a currency would be subject to the strictest regulatory requirements. It will only get better from here. To see this, visit the BIS Innovation Hub. The BIS Innovation Hub recently shared a document discussing their project Nexus. Please take a look. Okay, we won't disclose the details of these meetings or any confidential conversations. Attend these meetings and pay close attention to everyone involved. The successful proof of concept between Singapore and Malaysia in 2022 coupled with the implementation of the euro system led to a recent change. Singapore's BIS Innovation Hub to compare the model to reality. The center has collaborated with the central banks and instant payment system operators in Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. Their Ripple and quick payment systems are available in every nation. I have recently added the project team to my list of stakeholders. I have consulted with commercial banks from all over the world and the standard-setting bodies of central banks for the IP instant payment system operators to confirm that Nexus is scalable and compatible with immediate payment systems. If you live in a country other than those 5, you're undoubtedly wondering what this means for XRP. Wait a moment, Singapore, this is big. Remember guys that the Madu Foundation established the Module Loop CBDC Center of Excellence in Singapore. Since the establishment of the Magalo Foundation, Ripple has collaborated with the Module Foundation, the Interledger Protocol, and Google, which has been a massive undertaking. Since then, they have never looked back. Rewind. What's the purpose of their CBDC launch next? The Singaporean Center of Excellence operates in Malaysia, the Philippines and Indonesia. In Phase 4, Singapore and Thailand look even better. We will be examining Bank Nara Malaysia. Recall that the IMF published this report in 2020. The report discussed specific issues faced by Malaysia, including its use of the Ripple blockchain for transactions outside of the country as part of the Payments, Clearing and Settlements Money Match program. This means that the company has passed through the central bank's regulatory sandbox since they were using the Ripple blockchain under their central bank's regulatory sandbox back then. Many things will remain undisclosed. What were the final odds for Circle on June 6, 201.23? Circle obtained its primary payment institution license, which had followed several months later. After that, we had cash and mobile money in Singapore. Ripple received the same permission to expand into the Asia-Pacific region. Things are likely to scale up in phases. Buying, using Ripples. This is significant because starting in 2018 we reported that the Simp Group joined Ripplet to facilitate rapid payments. The cooperation will enable smooth wallet-to-wallet transfers to support the remittance corridor between Bangladesh and Malaysia. It's as if we're saying this is a significant development and we have TR in place. Transco is pushing real-time payments to Malaysia in 2022, and you can guess what that means. They are even dismantling the processes that govern on-demand liquidity, including Ripple and on-demand. From what I understand, you're exchanging XRP for USD or LLUSD, or both. It might be tokenized for Euro. Resources are limitless. Alright, this is really, everyone must realize this is not a one-time event. There won't be a single precise ledger to govern them all. We do not support a single ledger that would control all of them. Rather, we support a single ledger that would include all financial assets and transactions in an economy based on the fact that every jurisdiction has different demands. If ledgers could coexist, they would have to communicate with one another as well as with other components of the financial system such as APIs and their functions. The range of assets that they contain would probably change over time. They might begin with a limited set of use cases and assets before progressively growing into something more ambitious. And then Ripple's Anthony Welfare says something like, "Come on guys, this entails making connections not only with the local system, which is the country's current system, but also with other systems you are familiar with. Come on, currencies and native cryptos, CBDC, stable currencies, in-house cryptocurrency to share the future. They must collaborate. We must find a way." Consequently, we contemplate the swift pace of change in Ripple's enterprise truly stands out due to its XRP enhancement. Indeed, this enhances the efficiency of their enterprise. That is, after all, what bank do. On the other hand, you want Circle. The Circle does not possess the same asset as XRP. I don't have the bridge currency, which is why Jeremy AER was so explicit. Jeremy AER made it clear that we need to scale USC. We could achieve this by leveraging Ripple technology. By the way, USC has witnessed over $3.5 trillion in direct online transactions between parties. If we can enhance it with more scalable blockchain technologies like the ones used by Brad's company, that would be great. However, this information is just the tip of the iceberg. There is a wealth of additional information that occurs behind the scenes which I simply cannot encompass in a single video. Some will understand this and trust those with less sophisticated minds. I could remain seated and inform everyone to cease their discourse regarding this matter, asserting that it is all a fabrication and expressing my lack of comprehension regarding the operation of this system overall. Just try and do me a favor. If you're new to the XRP community or this business, I recommend watching my earlier videos. XRP will revolutionize the Bitcoin market completely. There's no doubt about it, and when the day comes, you better believe it. Thank you so much to every one of you. Please let me know what. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and remember that time will resolve all disputes. We will resolve everything in due course. That's all I have to say. I can't wait for you guys. Those who watched my video from this start will know that we exceeded expectations in terms of information accuracy. Everyone must gather and reflect on these moments with the realization that in 5 or 10 years we will likely uncover vast seas in the financial architecture that has, I guess, been tokenized. That might include digital currencies issued by central banks, which do exist to some degree. Of course, until now their size has remained relatively small. Stable coins represent tangible assets. Jenny, for instance, discusses the effectiveness of tokenizing or digitizing money market funds. Trillions are these, and endlessly large sums of money that could potentially end up in a tokenized form. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more new videos.